Before we begin, please take a moment to ensure that your computer monitor or television screen is properly adjusted. If each color in this pattern is not clearly defined, please use your contrast and/or brightness controls to adjust your screen. Please note that using the brightness control will not make this program any more intelligent. Thank you, and get set for action. But first, our usual opening theme. And welcome to the Compromise Archive, the show that stakes out that common ground between us and decidedly more mainstream subject matter, and then just shamelessly exploits the hell out of it. So, today we make our decidedly not so grand foray back into the world of crossover gaming. But this time, unlike in times past where it's been gaming stuff treading into home theater territory, just overall AV geek territory, it's going to be more like home theater AV geek stuff treading into gaming territory. So, with that, today we're going to take a look at the most famous, or infamous, of the 3 released consoles designed to be used in tandem with VHS videotapes. I'm talking about the Action Max. Around 1980, a couple of former Atari employees opened their own toy company, namely Worlds of Wonder. Now, it took a few years, but Worlds of Wonder scored one of the biggest hits of the 80s with the grand poobah of nightmare fuel for just about every kid born between 1980 and 90, myself included, Teddy Ruxpin.
Hi there, my name is Teddy Ruxpin. How are you today?
At about the same time as Teddy Ruxpin was dominating the toy market, Worlds of Wonder also handled American distribution of the Nintendo Entertainment System. Between these two commercial juggernauts, Worlds of Wonder wasted no time trying to get as many vaguely geeky new toys to market as quickly as possible. Naturally, this included a rather low-end video game console of their own, the Action Max, released in September of 1987 at a cost of $100. Batteries not included.
It wouldn't be a game.
It's solid action when you join the recruits on the target range. Targets appear everywhere. The stakes are high because you never know who's lurking in the shadows.
At the same time that the Action Max was released, Worlds of Wonder was, financially, collapsing under its own weight. In an effort to maintain solvency, Worlds of Wonder issued non-investment grade bonds, aka junk bonds. Not only did it not help, the timing couldn't have been worse, as the Dow Jones crashed on October 19th. In the wake of this, Worlds of Wonder filed for bankruptcy, lost their distribution deal with Nintendo, liquidated their most valuable assets, read Lasertag and, of course, Teddy Ruxpin, and pulled most of their toys, including the Action Max, from the market. Worlds of Wonder closed in 1990. As has been frequently pointed out, the very notion of a VHS-based gaming system is inherently problematic. The biggest issue being that the game plays out the same way every single time, not to mention that tape wears out from repeated use. To add insult to injury, the necessary size of your targets for a successful hit often means that whatever you're shooting at gets obscured, making unintentional friendly fire a major issue. Then add in the cheesy acting, sets, music, endless calibration sequences, and a mere 15-minute maximum runtime for each game, and you've got a recipe for failure. In theory, the Action Max is pretty simple. You've got a console, a light gun, a suction cup / light sensor / success light for the TV screen, CRTs only, and of course VHS game tapes. But as we all know, looks can be deceiving. So the basic console has a power switch, volume knob, calibration knob, score counter, game mode switch, a player 1, player 2 switch, and 4 1/8-inch inputs, one of which is for the sole, fairly useless purpose of feeding the video's audio track back into the machine from the VCR via a Y cable. Anyway, allegedly there are 3 play modes to this thing: a standard mode, in which you can't lose points, a reflex mode, in which you can gain extra points by firing more quickly, and a limited ammunition mode, in which you lose points after every 4 misfires. For whatever reason, my unit only works in that final mode, making my top score on the Action Max to date a big, fat 0. And that just scratches the surface of this thing. Anyway, given that, of course, out of necessity, the Action Max had to rely entirely on arcade-style shoot-'em-up games, I initially thought that this system would be right up my alley, because if you've seen any of the previous gaming-related archive episodes, you know that I majorly suck at video games. So, anyway, as I mentioned, my console isn't exactly in the greatest shape. Only one of the 3 game modes works, so we're stuck with that. And in addition to that, the little light bulb in the sensor thingy that sticks to the TV is long gone. Seriously, who would have thought that a 6.5 volts, 150 milliamp, 11 millimeter E10 bulb would be so hard to come by these days? Or back then. Seriously, Worlds of Wonder, you couldn't have just used a simple Christmas tree light? So, anyway, the light's not gonna work either. But, anyway, believe it or not, I actually own 40% of all the games ever released for the Action Max. I have 2. So, I have Sonic Fury, which was the pack-in title at the time, and The Rescue of Pops Ghostly. So, there you are. There's all the ingredients, and somehow I sense you'd like to see me try and set up and play this thing, right? Well, it's your lucky day, because I happen to still have my CRT TV set up to use this thing, because, you know, it doesn't work with a modern TV. Let's go to it. Okay, so as I mentioned in the history lesson, that I do not have a bulb in the light sensor, and I have not been able to find a replacement bulb, at least not reasonably priced. So we'll just have to imagine that this sucker lights up whenever I get a hit. And the suction cup on this thing is crap, and this thing weighs a little too much for its own good, so in the name of due diligence, here's my totally futile attempt at hooking this to the TV with no help. One more time. Maybe if I can keep the weight elsewhere. No, that's a bad idea. Nope. Well, it's a good thing that I brought some tape. Let's try something that can make the weight work with it. Yeah, it's gonna get in the way, but what you gonna do? And it won't stick, of course. Okay, I think we're good. You know, before I go any further, maybe I ought to take a cut, just for safety's sake. Alright, let's pick up where we left off. I may have to move the microphone, so you might hear that moving around a bit for this. I'll try and keep as much of this in the shot as possible, but let's resume hooking this thing up, right? Action, Max. And this will go into the thing with the picture of the sun on it. That would make sense, right? All right. And then we've got our gun, which is basically the dollar store version of the Nintendo Zapper, and a super cheap thin wire. So this will go into the, how about the one with the picture of the gun? That would make sense, right? Okay. Turn it on, and the volume knob has some dirt in it, so let me get that up to the mic here. It sounds lovely. But it does work, and hopefully you'll get to hear a whole lot of this. Alright, let's do this. By request from somebody on the Facebook page, let's do The Rescue of Pop's Ghostly. And this is the Canadian version, which just means the box is bilingual. Here's our tape. All right, let's get our calibrating on. I promise this will be riveting. Anytime now. Copyright warning, yeah. Well, I think this would fall under fair use, and plus, it would be very hard for Worlds of Wonder to go after me at this point, given they closed 25 years ago.
To ensure the accuracy of your Action Max game system, please take a few moments to make sure that the contrast and brightness controls of your television set are properly adjusted.
They are.
This grayscale pattern shows 7 vertical bars. Number 1 is black and number 7 is white. If you can clearly see all 7 bars, your television set is properly adjusted.
It is, trust me.
Dark or your white's bright, you'll need to adjust the
number 2's only just a little bit blue.
On your TV set. On your TV, the brightness control may be called bright level, black level, background, or grayscale. The contrast.
Oh, just skip it. Okay, let's get pumped. I'm ready to shoot some stuff. I'm ready to shoot some ghosts and skeletons and stuff.
Stand by for target practice.
Sure, why not?
Fire at the center of the flashing target. A steady aim is critical. To calibrate your game, adjust the distance control on your base unit. Turn toward minus if you're close to the screen, or toward plus if you're further away. The score signal will light when you hit a target.
I think I'm doing all right, calibration-wise.
Score on the base unit. Now, reset your score by turning the power switch off and on again on your base unit. Prepare for action.
Oh, I was ready for action 20 minutes ago. All right, Pops, I'm coming to rescue you. It's all right, kids, I got the gun. I'll get that pesky dog. Anytime now. Come on, I'm ready to shoot some stuff. Whoa. Looks like Stay Puft has been on a diet.
Pop's ghostly. And boy, do we need your help.
Oh, are they friendly? Then
Sometimes.
maybe they can help.
Pops, I just saw another one. They're even uglier than the guys we saw before. They're everywhere.
You see, it's been like this for generations. We ghostlies lived here. Then one day these creatures moved in.
Those pesky humans.
Horrible creatures. They're terrifying. We've got to get them out of here.
Yeah, but it ain't gonna be easy. There's these ghouls that toss fireballs and...
Gordy!
He's right. This is serious. Take care. They'll come after you, too.
I bet.
We'll try to help you when we can.
I doubt it.
Please, don't shoot at us.
Yeah, and always remember to...
Gee, thanks. Come on, give me some more ghosts. I don't have any points yet. All right, I got one. Come on. Back to 0. Oh, come on. I'm still at 0.
This used to be mine. Gordy?
Come on. Come on, I need to get a score here. All right, you know what? Stop it right there. This is a red letter day for me because you have seen me just now shatter my old record, my old high score with the Action Max. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm quitting while I'm ahead. I have a score of 2. I'm calling it a day. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually pretty glad that the Action Max slipped right past me when I was a kid because it seems like the kind of thing I would have nagged my parents for and would have been very sorely disappointed with once I got one. So, anyway, that's it for today's archive. Join us next time when I undergo psychotherapy from the angry video game nerd. How apt.
I'm Squadron Leader Major Lance Benson. Alabama for short. Nickname's only up here, by the way, so we'll be calling you Ace from here on. On your right wing,
I don't want to be Ace.
pilots in the air. Our own Native American Top Gun Chief and resident hot trucker.
Now, hold on. I am deeply offended by this. This is inexcusable. Where is the token woman? Where is the token gay guy? I am deeply offended by this. Screw this game. I'm not even touching this one.